right, break left.
I'm calling 6. I'm down on corral. I've got contact with some snipers, over. Everybody get off the middle of this LZ. Everybody move out. Get out there.
More than 3 million American men and women served in the hell known as the Vietnam War. 300,000 were wounded. 75,000 were permanently disabled. 58,000 died or remained missing. They went because their country asked them to. They gave their all in an unpopular war that many of them felt their country never really tried to win, and that others felt was unwinnable. There were no ticker tape parades when they came back. Vietnam veterans were greeted sometimes with indifference, sometimes with insults and ridicule. As to the war, nobody wanted to talk about it. Memories of the heroism, the sacrifices, the deaths were lost in the anger and bitterness that divided the nation. For years, Vietnam veterans were strangers in their own land. Then in 1979, Jan Scruggs, a young Vietnam veteran, resolved to build a memorial to honor those who served and help the soldiers, the families, and the nation accept the loss of the dead and missing. Scruggs was soon joined by Bob Dubeck, Jack Wheeler, and others. They envisioned a memorial that would be a place to reflect on all Americans who in time of war put their lives on the line, and in the words of Abraham Lincoln, help bind up the nation's wounds. The veterans asked for contributions to build the memorial. No tax money expected or wanted. Contributions came in slowly at first, but as Americans began to separate the war from the warriors, the money flowed in. The vets sponsored a design competition and chose the simple but hauntingly powerful design submitted by a young architectural student named Maya Lin. Miss Lin envisioned a memorial composed of 2 gleaming walls of polished black granite. On each wall, in the order they were taken from us, would be inscribed the names of those who gave their lives and those who are still missing. Not everyone was happy with the choice, but the memorial began to take form in the shadows of the monuments to George Washington and Abraham Lincoln on the hallowed ground reserved for tributes to our greatest patriots. The wall was completed in November 1982, just before Veterans Day. From every corner of America, veterans, families, and friends by the thousands converged on Washington. In Vietnam, there had been little time to mourn for friends or even react to their deaths. Now, finally, there was time. Time to remember, to grieve, to come to terms with the war and their deaths, to lessen the pain, if only a little. Time to recall lost youth and innocence, to ponder the real meaning of duty, honor, country, and sacrifice. Time to reflect on the sheer, shattering randomness of it all, that one should die while another lived. Some had died performing feats of unbelievable bravery, showing the world that even in absolutely the worst conditions, people are capable of the very best. Jim Barber, shot while trying to pull wounded comrades out of a crossfire. Milton Olive, who saved his buddies by using his own body to absorb the explosion of a grenade. George Mayo, who kept telling the medics, "I'm okay, take care of my men first." When they finally got back to him, he was gone. Ben McDermott, felled by mortar fire during his 3rd tour in Vietnam, a country he loved and was committed to helping. Army nurse Sharon Lane, killed at her post in the Vietnamese ward during an attack on Chu Lai. Rabbi Morton Singer, on his way to hold services at a fire base, and the plane load of Marines who were with him on the first leg of their journey home. All were killed when their plane crashed. They're all on the wall, where veterans come to look for a buddy's name, and sometimes find a buddy instead. One father led his son to the wall and told him to touch a name. "Don't ever forget that man," he said. "If it were not for that man, you would not be here." On Saturday, November 13th, 1982, 15,000 Vietnam veterans finally had their victory parade, marching proudly down Constitution Avenue. On the memorial grounds, they joined 150,000 other Americans who had come to pay their respects, offer their thanks, and welcome the veterans home.
Upon returning home, I, like many others, found that being known as a Vietnam veteran was a very dubious distinction. But today, this situation has changed. All of us can now say that we are proud to be Vietnam veterans, and that we are proud to have helped our country during time of crisis. And I know that our country appreciates our service.
Your presence is felt in this place as a mighty wind, O God, echoing again the words once spoken by your prophet Isaiah. I have called you by name. You are mine. Keep them all close to you, O God, in your eternal peace.
You feel no one knows you're even there, but the wheels wouldn't turn if you didn't care. You labor patiently and give yourself willingly.
In the dawn's early light, a bronze sculpture shows three ghostly soldiers emerging from the trees. They have the eyes of men who have stood at the brink. Sculptor Rick Hart describes them as being bonded together by the brotherhood of war. And yet each is alone. They are proud, and yet they do not glorify war. They move hesitantly through a breach in the barrier of time and gaze intently at the wall, as if seeking their own names or those of their comrades. We follow their gaze. The names carved on the shimmering black panels sometimes seem etched on the clouds, written not on stone, but on the heavens themselves.
You're meant to see yourself reflected through the names, but in a way you are standing in the world of the light, and then the wall and its darker mirrored image is their world, a boundary point which we can't pass beyond. What it's meant to do is bring you to a point, bring you to an awareness about these lives that are gone, but of course we, the living, cannot pass into their realm. And that's where you, each individual, has to turn around and walk back up into the light. And that's where the hope and the healing comes from.
This simple memorial, so unobtrusive among the towering monuments to other American patriots, affects all who come here. And come they do, by the thousands, in all seasons, in all weather, at every hour of the day and night. Once skinny 19-year-olds, now much older, who left their youth and innocence in Vietnam. Families, friends, loved ones, men and women who know no one inscribed on the wall. Young people who weren't even born until after the war ended. All feel some kinship or obligation to the men and women behind the names. Many visitors touch a name, gently, reverently. They break through the barrier of time and reopen old wounds. Once again, feel the pain of loss. But without this pain, without confronting the past, there can be no healing. Under the auspices of Park Service Rangers, volunteers serve as ministers to the memorial and its visitors. They help find special names, or are simply there when needed to comfort someone in his grief. Often, the volunteers make a rubbing of a name, creating a symbolic piece of the wall. Although their bodies are buried elsewhere, these soldiers live on in the memories of those who visit, and their spirits seem to be united at the wall. We did not bury only young soldiers who died almost before they had begun to live. We also buried dreams and saw the lives of countless others forever altered. Thousands of letters left at the memorial show just how deeply their loss has been felt.
All 76 of you died to save the 42 of us. Here are 76 fathers, mothers, and God knows how many wives and children left without you. And I live with that thought every day of my life. I will never forget my comrades. Here at this wall, I will say my goodbyes to you until we meet again.
You died to rescue a wounded comrade. You were dying in my arms, and the only thing I had to give you, I gave. You didn't die alone. That was the most important thing. It was the only thing that mattered.
We wear our gold stars for you and are proud of your medals. Our son, who fell in another world than ours, desiring freedom for others, dedicating his own freedom to what he believed was noble. America has no better than you, and you were ours.
I love you so much. I have dreamed of the day you'll finally come home and be my dad. You would have been the best daddy in the whole world. You were for that short period of time in my life. I can never forget you. I'm 23 now. I sure look a lot different from 6 years old. You'd be very proud of me.
You embodied the best that was in us. You were a part of us, and a part of us died with you. Your courage was an example to us all. And whatever the rights or wrongs of the war, nothing can diminish the rightness of what you tried to do.
I would rather have had you for just 21 years and go through all the pain of losing you than never to have known you at all. If I could have the return of just one day with you, I wonder, which day would I pick?
Eight Armed Forces women nurses and scores of medical personnel also gave their last full measure of devotion in Vietnam They worked frantically, sometimes able to do nothing more than make dying as easy as possible. The wall calls out, "We are dead, but you live, and through you we live. Don't let America forget us." And a still grieving friend answers,
17 years. You're still 21, forever young but gone. And nothing will make your loss to us any less of a tragedy. They said they gave you a Purple Heart for dying. Well, this here letter is a Purple Heart for living. I thought it might mean more to you. It was important for me to come, to touch your name on the wall that makes it all real. I'm still trying to say goodbye.
Sometimes the fallen soldiers themselves speak to the living through letters written before they died. Sometimes through a card sent with Mother's Day flowers ordered months in advance. Or through a note left by a living veteran to comfort other survivors.
I did come home, in the hearts and the minds of each of the living. Every man and woman that came back brought a part of me. I have talked to you with their voices and loved you with their hearts. Don't be scared, for I'm always with you. I will always be there in the still of the night. Be still, listen, and you'll hear my voice.
The Vietnam War divided us. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial has helped bring us back together, bind up our nation's wounds, separate the war from the warriors, welcome home America's sons and daughters, and bring us face to face with the true costs of war. The names inscribed here help us remember that these men and women were not something remote, like casualties. These were living, breathing men and women who died in the service of their country. Here, at this memorial, at the going down of the sun and in the morning, we remember them, give meaning to their sacrifices, and thank all who served in Vietnam, all the unsung heroes.
All the unsung heroes. Faithful as the wind blows, shall be blessed, for God He knows. All the unsung heroes. You're the face without a name that heeds the call. And if you weren't there, there'd be no one at all. For life and love you serve without the praise you deserve. All the unsung heroes, faithful as the wind blows, shall be blessed, for God He knows. All the unsung heroes. Sometimes you feel no one knows you're even there, but the wheels wouldn't turn if you didn't care.
Hi, this is Bob Hope. It's been 15 years since the end of the war in Vietnam, and still the healing continues. If you or someone you care about have been wanting to talk to other people who knew a special person who died in Vietnam, now there's a way. It's a project called In Touch. Contact the Friends of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, 1350 Connecticut Avenue, Washington, D.C., 20036, or call area code 202-296-1726. That's 202-296-1726.